Welcome, welcome, good people. You have to check out this arrest of Keefe D. And you will see that Keefe's home gets raided. It must be a lot more going on behind why Keefe D made that move to Las Vegas, back to the crime scene, basically, to the scene of the crime. He starts working on his own book, Compton Street Legend, hits the store shelves.
April Shade is the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We have a search warrant for the resident. You need to come out with your hands up, with your hands.
Is Wayne inside?
2204 Maple Shade.
Doors open. Light that up down this side.
He's having a raid on his home. You know, they coming in, screaming at the neighbors. Not at the neighbors, but they on the blowhorn. Just check it out. He's getting arrested.
Went back inside.
Our good friends over there at Law and Crime, they supplied this footage.
We're showing a search warrant behind you here. Flux. We need to get in the backyard. Hold on a second. Get that thing really close to your mouth and speak super loud, dude. Down this side. Yep. Copy. Mel went back inside. We're just getting situated out front. Step to the left. Okay, face away from me. Face the house. Slowly walk back. Put the sound of my voice. You're doing good. Appreciate your cooperation. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. What's your name? Hi. What's your name, sir? Oh, you can show them. Okay. For me, please. Thank you. Hang tight, man. We'll get you in this minute, okay? Anybody else? It's you and my wife. For me. Anybody else? Just me and my wife. Okay. Any dogs? No, nothing. Spread your feet for me, partner. Spread your feet for me, partner. Thank you. You can stay off of the phone. Stop talking on the phone. It's just you and your wife out there, sir, right? Yeah. Who are you looking for? All right, we're ready for the female. Let's go ahead and bring her down. Leave out into your door, so tight, man. We'll get you in just a minute, okay? Everybody else inside the house. Me and my wife. Just you and your wife? Just looking for me. Is there anybody else inside the house? Just me and my wife. Just you and your wife? Any kids? No kids. Any dogs? No, nothing. Spread your feet for me, partner. Spread your feet for me, partner. Thank you. You can stay off of the phone. Do me a favor. Stop talking on the phone. Who are you looking for, though? Who are you looking for? It's just you and your wife out there, sir, right? Yeah. Who are you looking for? Do me a favor. Okay. Relax for a second. All right, we're ready for the female. Let's go ahead and bring her down. Relax, okay? Leave out an interior door, so okay.
All right, man. Hands top your head. Hands on top of your head. I need you to step to your right. Step to your right. Keep stepping to your right. Okay, now go ahead and turn away from us. Turn away. Now walk back to the sound of my voice. Keep walking back.
Nate, have her turn around and just face us and walk
Okay.
over. It's tight over there.
Go ahead and turn around and face us and walk straight forward so you can see where you're going.
All right, we've got Vernon now. All right, ma'am, I need you to come right to my voice, please. Just keep coming. You're doing great. Appreciate your cooperation. Just keep walking right back over here, please. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Step out. Come on, keep coming. Come on. You're fine. You're fine. Over here, please. Well, we're just getting everybody that's inside the house. Come over here, please. Right here. You're fine. Right here for just a second.
Hey, yes. Hi, I'm Sergeant Bachman, Las Vegas Metro Squad.
Can you put this hand on top of your head for me for a second, please?
Can you do me a favor? Just answer a couple questions.
Why am I getting handcuffed? Why am I getting handcuffed?
This is just a procedure. We're going to take you right out of the
Other hand, please.
Cooperate with us and everything will be fine. Do me a favor. I got to ask you a couple questions. Is anybody else inside the house?
Here, man, put your hands together. They'll get you out of these in just a second, okay?
Okay, what's your first name? Come on, they tight.
They're going to get you out of them in
Okay,
just a
but they
second,
tight.
ma'am.
Why would you do me like this?
I didn't do them too tight. I appreciate your cooperation. In a second, I'm going to pass you off to the detectives. They will take you out of these cuffs.
Okay, well,
So
why?
answer these questions
I
real
need
quick.
these things a little.
Okay, we will. We're going to
Well, in a second, ma'am.
Look at me real quick.
They are pretty loose.
Who else is inside the residence?
Nobody.
Nobody? No kids?
No.
No dogs?
No.
Any weapons that you know of?
No, not that I- no.
Thank you for your cooperation. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass you over
So
the...
you're gonna tear my house up?
Ma'am, we are going to go in and search your house, so if there is anybody else in there.
Nobody. I don't
Okay,
know who
just
you're
let us
looking
know.
for.
I copy that, Levi. LT's gonna.
But I just, I'm,
Ma'am, we'll walk you. He's gonna walk you down, okay?
And he refused to give his name. That just like showed that he thought he had something above immunity. He thought he was in with the boys in blue. And this seemed to be a very brief stay when he was arrested. And I think this has everything to do with his book. Keefe D's been wanting to be an entertainer for a long time. And he finds himself at odds with Officer Greg Kading, who also wrote a book. Keefe D is upset because Officer Kading, Greg Kading, stole his story. Now, Officer Kading released his book in 2011, and Keefe felt that his story about Tupac and all the ins and outs of the street life and the gangs and all that, I guess if he just used it to arrest him or question him about his affiliation, that would have been cool. But Keefe don't appreciate Kading making money. He don't appreciate it's all about that money. And Keefe D felt tricked. And he actually is talking about suing Kading. He feels Officer Greg Kading, who is also now in the spotlight because maybe his vanity is also in play after he authorized the book Murder Rap. Because he said the FBI advised him actually to sue Kading because he felt tricked when he made this Queen for a Day agreement with Kading. And this Queen for a Day agreement, Keefe's just showing how he's not really so bright, because every time, Kading, even in his interviews, he speaks in this language like, here's the deal. Kading says that a lot in interviews. If you watch him, he says, here's the deal. And it looks like Keefe took that as, here's the deal I'm presenting to you, which could not be further from the truth. And yeah, Keefe was tricked. He was tricked, but it didn't take much to trick him. And actually, Keefe D was thinking that he was like on Greg Kading's team. This is the feeling I get from him. And he thought he had something beyond immunity. He thought he was like living the life, like having the best of both worlds for the kind of dude he is. He's tied to the gangs. He still have his street cred to a degree for somebody that has ratted on people. And he thinks he has this camaraderie with Greg Kading. I don't know if Greg Kading is that great of an actor. At least he played the role well enough to at least he played the role well enough to trick Keefe D. I don't know if it takes that much. I don't know. But Greg Kading must be kind of smooth. So he had Keefe D thinking that he's part of his team, that they have this rapport. Greg Kading has alluded to as much in interviews, but I think he's not really giving it up just how much he was playing the game, to what degree. So Keefe and Greg Kading were supposed to be working on bringing Puffy to the forefront of the investigation. And Keefe had some details, which we all heard, about Puffy talking out loud about, how he wants Pac and Big gone, or, he wants his life back. He don't care if Puff or Biggie have to be gone. If you watch gangster movies, like I watch a lot of Italian gangster flicks, they do that stuff. They're in the room. They're like, I don't know. Something should happen to the guy. I don't know. I'm just saying, people have accidents. They talk like that. So it all comes to the same point, and no one is fooled by this. I don't know if this kind of talking around in circles or talking around the edge of things, if that makes a difference when it comes down to people taking a stand, because people get arrested on a mountain of circumstantial evidence all the time. So them being in the room, and of course, we concerned citizens, we are not buying it for 1 minute that the deaths of B.I.G. and Tupac are coincidental, that they happen within 6 months of each other. We're not buying it, and neither was Officer or Detective Russell Poole. This man, an avid, I think he has an Elvis poster in the back. Avid Elvis fan. But this man he's some kind of human being. There's a lot of human beings like that. They have honor. They stand for something, and they just have humanity. And this man gave so much energy and so much of his life, so much of his nerves. I mean, I'm sure he had some sleepless nights working on this case. And when he saw the connection between Tupac and Biggie, he couldn't let it go. His heart would not let him go. Some people just have hearts of gold like this. I'm sure he's not a perfect person. None of us are perfect. But this man demonstrated humanity in the way that he dealt with these cases. And he called out these dirty officers doing dirt that he felt were doing dirt. And I'm sorry, but he named Reggie Wright, who was head of death row security. Yeah, Russell Poole was calling out the dirt. I'll talk about these other LAPD officers at another time. But when this all was going down in 2011, when Kading released his book, Murder Rap, I think this was all like a cold shower for Keefe D. This must have been a little bit of a wake-up call for him, but not enough of a wake-up call for him. Because in 2009, that's when Kading came to Keefe D, messed up his holidays, his Thanksgiving, and let him know, hey, we got a lot on you. We need some cooperation. But the way Keefe D was talking, this man just seems like he likes to be in the center point. Whatever it takes, for whatever the reason is, if he's in the center point, he's kind of good with it. You have these powerful people with him, around him, officers that know the streets, and you making deals with them, that makes him feel like he's really still doing the thing, like being a boss. But when this all came out that, he needs to give it up, he needs to cooperate, Keefe D moves from California to Las Vegas. And this is all around the same time that Greg Kading's book comes out. So by now, Keefe D must be feeling salty. I don't think he went about it the best way. I mean, there's some gangsters, I guess gangsters like street gangsters, they always come to the same end. I mean, even people in white collar crime, karma in life can catch up with you right on this earth. You don't have to wait for the hereafter, the afterlife to pay for your deeds. Because Keefe D, but the way he moved was really kind of silly. He writes his book. Before his book hits the shelves, he gets one more visit from Kading as a warning. What I understand was 2018, but it could have been 2019. I believe it was 2018. And then that's when the raid happened on Keefe D's home. And Kading was telling them that, hey, your statements that you made in your Queen for a Day deal, if you want to call it a deal, yeah, baby, that's coming out. Those statements that you made are going to be unsealed. So Keefe D's attitude was like, well, Kading tried to get it across to him that, you might have some problems on the street level and you might want to think about your legal representation. Maybe you want to double up, triple up. Keefe D is like, nah, bring it, man, bring it. I think that's idiotic. It's like now that Tupac and Biggie have lost their lives, it's like a machine of money to be made. People are making books, documentary after documentary. It must be at least 50 pieces of major work. I'm saying that at least 50 pieces of major work and probably 30 pieces of work. I would say like 60% of the work done about the life of Tupac mainly and Biggie Smalls, the Notorious B.I.G, has been done after these young men passed. And there is no end, especially when you look at the life of Tupac, because his presentation was so huge, his message was so huge. There's a lot going on. But back to Keefe D, this fool, I'm gonna say it, I said it. This fool thought he was part of like the police department? Like he was in, like he could sit and have coffee with the guys. He had it really twisted. But it seems like when he got arrested, it was a brief stay, but he nor his wife, sometimes I speak English, real English, he nor his wife they just could not understand how the police could be at their house. Who are you looking for? You couldn't be looking for me. His wife too. I mean, Keefe D has done more dirt than the law allows. He had ties, his whole career got elevated in the dope game because he had ties to Pablo Escobar, which was his plug. That's where he was getting his drugs from. This was a direct source. But Keefe D was doing every kind of low level drug dealing you could think of. He didn't have his hands directly on it. He had people moving around for him. I don't even want to call this man an outright fool. They say that even criminals have the right to fair legal representation and they're innocent till proven guilty. But this man, I just have to say, he's downright fool. And this seemed to be a very brief stay in 2018 when he was arrested and he refused to give his name. That just showed that he thought he had something above immunity. He thought he was in with the boys in blue. I don't know how they made this fool think that he was that good. I mean, I guess that's why I could never be a criminal. I could not believe nothing so harebrained like that. Or is Kading really that good of an actor? I mean, come on. And Keefe was talking to the officers. I mean, they're all in riot gear at his house. Riot gear on the blowhorn, just like it sound like a state of emergency, like it sound like a war zone. And he has the boldness, he has this attitude like, you don't know who I am. I'm not going to even tell you my name. You low-level officers, wait till you find out who I am. All of y'all going to lose your jobs. You ain't going to have no pension. That's the kind of attitude he had. And once Keefe D is released from jail, he goes on to promote his book. He goes on this promotional tour about his book, Compton Street Legend. And he's bragging about his knowledge of crimes and the way he knows the streets and the respect that he has and all of this stuff that has to do with Biggie, Pac, and Puffy. It's really insane. And a lot, to be fair, a lot of men from that time, bodyguards and old gangsters, they have been on the circuit on these podcasts and these social media channels telling their war stories on podcasts, The Art of Dialogue, Vlad TV, and the list goes on and on. And they have agreements with these channels, so they have they're doing working on episodes, his book, Compton doing Street seasons of releasing this information. I mean, they're gang stories, there's Italian movies about legendary gang stories, and Keefe seems to think for some reason he's safe like these other dudes. I mean, I don't know if any of them are safe, but Keefe seems to think for some reason that he's safe and he has this level of immunity that he can write this book in his own words, which is pretty bold. He could have had somebody else write an unauthorized biography and let somebody interview him or not interview him or just do a totally straight out unauthorized biography about his life and with the same title. But no, he's speaking in his own words. That's so doofus to me. That's completely doofus. But he shot himself in the foot. And I appreciate him for doing that because maybe we're on the road to getting some closure about these painful losses of B.I.G. These guys were young. They did a lot of good things. They said the things that probably weren't cool all the time, but they were young men. And when you're in life, there's always a chance to grow. And somebody just took that away from them. And we should get to the bottom of this. And fans don't let go of this because it's even for me, it's like what they represent. They're young men that have struggles coming out of environments it's just prevalent in the Black experience in America, and they fought their way out. And just when things should turn around, when they should be able to really make some things happen in their life and the lives of their communities and their families, it's just gone. It's just, life is not really fair all the time. But good. Keefe D was running his mouth. The grand jury said, no, bring him in. So he returned to the scene of the crime, and life and karma caught up with him. It was bound to catch up with him. And again, there's so much more under the surface. Oh, but just like Kading was trying to get to in the first place back in 2009, they was trying to get with Diddy. Can't you see? Diddy. You know what, Diddy? I'm talking about these dudes, but it's like putting your hands, for so many of us, it's just so clear. It's clear enough what we're looking at. It is clear enough. You know what? That's probably another reason why Keefe had to go to Vegas. It's because just like even on the street level, that you had anything to do with taking out Pac, and now that information is just circulating online. Yeah, I can see why you would go to Vegas in the suburbs, because Keefe says that he's not afraid to roam the streets, but I bet you are. Anyway, there was a whole firestorm. We'll get into the other layers of that firestorm that set this whole thing off, because it just happened like dominoes falling. Now this stuff is getting ready to get cleared up. Until the next one, y'all keep living your life like it's golden. Peace.